If your morning routine is feeling like a chore and it's becoming harder and harder to do every single day, most likely your morning routine is taking away from your productivity instead of doing the very thing that it's designed to do, which is to make you more effective. In today's video, I'm going to break down 3 daily habits to increase your output. And instead of the traditional morning routine that is starting to become a bit bloated in my opinion, this is going to help you develop some habits that are going to translate more into your workday so that you can produce what you need to produce without feeling exhausted at the end. Because let's be real, if your morning routine is coming to an hour and 2 hours, most likely you're feeling how I felt after doing this for years, is that at the end of the routine, it's almost as if the day is complete and you feel more accomplished, but the reality is you didn't really do any work yet. And there's a lot more to do, but you have to work yourself back up again. So these 3 daily habits are something that I've designed and I've been working with personally for the last 45-ish days and have seen massive results in focus and in discipline and really being able to concentrate to the degree I need to produce for my business, to create content, to create these videos, but also to formulate the thoughts and the deep critical thinking that needs to happen in order to produce content, grow the business, and lead a life that's actually worth living. The first of these 3 daily habits is what I call first 30. This is protecting the first 30 minutes of your day, and it may increase to 45 or an hour, because if you're like anybody else that I've introduced this to, you're gonna love it so much that you're not gonna want to turn your phone on. Most of us are used to waking up and opening our phone to a wall of messages, of notifications and badges that are a whole bunch of things that we now need to respond to. The first 30 is about not turning your phone on for at least the first 30 minutes of the day. Now, I know I said in the beginning something about a morning routine and how having a bloated morning routine can actually make you less productive, but the reality is having something that primes you for work is the original purpose of the morning routine. So what this could look like is making your warm beverage, having the ritual, drinking the water, having the coffee, whatever it is that sets you up for the day. And then starting to sit down. For me, that looks like waking up, drinking 24 to 32 ounces of water, having the coffee ready, sitting down with a book that I'm reading and reading for 20 to 30 minutes before I dive into the most critical tasks for that day, whatever the big projects are moving forward. But for those first 30 minutes, and typically now upwards of an hour, my phone does not turn on. And this really has allowed me to develop the discipline to put what I need to do first and not respond to the wall of messages that are there when I go to open my phone. The second of these daily habits is deep work. Cal Newport wrote the book Deep Work, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on what he unpacks in there, but what I will say is that deep work is considered to be focusing on one task and one task only until completion. And typically that looks like anywhere from 1, 2 to 3 hours of very focused work on something where you can get the depth of that what you need in order to produce quality output. So this could be creating the script for the video, writing the post for social, creating for your program, whatever it is that you have to do in your business, but doing that for a very concentrated period of time. Now, prior to these last 30 days, I had really a misconception about deep work, thinking that I needed to do deep work every single day, 24/7, 365. But what actually is true for me, and you have to find this out for yourself, is the frequency of deep work. Cal says it this way: it's that the shallow work keeps the lights on and deep work moves the needle. So what he means by that is all of the things that you have to do in your business that are more of like the surface level stuff, that's what keeps the lights on, right? You have to pay the bills, you have to do these things, but the deep work is what moves the needle. When you can get into those really focused periods of time, that's the time that you have to focus on the projects that you need to do that are going to move the needle in your business. So when you have the first habit, the first 30, that gives you the space to get into this deep work. And Cal even says too, to not turn on your notifications, to check your messages or anything until after this deep work block. Now, I recommend doing this in stages, because anytime that you try to chew too much or bite off too much, typically what happens is you throw the whole baby out with the bathwater, right? you think that it's the entire strategy that won't work. So if you're just starting deep work, instead of trying to focus for 2 hours or 3 hours, just do it for 30 to 40 minutes. Now, the frequency again of deep work to shallow work, I found for me that if I get 3 deep work sessions a week, and for me that's about 2 to 3 hours each session, that gives me exactly the time I need right now in my business to produce what I need to produce and have the output that I need to serve my clients, to deliver value, to do all of the content that I need to do for my business. That works. So for you, that may be less, that may be more. But again, installing the habit and doing it for 30 days or so will give you enough information to see if that needs to be more or less. The third of these is to develop the habit of writing. I looked high and low. I Googled the shit out of it, looking for every writing challenge I could possibly find. And I'll link the one that I found in the description. And this is from Jeff Goins. And it's just a 30-day challenge to write 500 words a day for 30 days. My goal is not to be a writer. My goal is to be able to articulate thoughts better and to develop the habit of writing. Because if you're a coach or you're an entrepreneur and you create any content, putting your thoughts onto paper is a critical skill. So this daily habit will create more output because it's going to give you the skill you need to be able to sit down and form a thought and have that be a daily habit. Now that may not stick after the 30 days, and I don't necessarily think that that's supposed to be that way. Some people will produce better if they have the habit of writing every single day. Some people produce better if they do that on one day. For me, I'm the latter. If I do all of my writing and content creation in one day and I have all of my posts ready for the week, that's where all the major moving pieces can happen. And I don't necessarily need to mess around with doing that every single day. I can fill in the blanks later on. So the habit though of daily writing isn't just for writing, it's being able to formulate the thought, which I found very useful and I know has stretched into other areas of life as well. It's interesting too how developing skills in one area can bleed into another. I found that with these 3 habits, it's also helped me to be more patient in my relationship and also to have a larger gap between stimulus and response. Typically, I get a little bit fiery when something comes at me and I'm very quick to respond. Being able to harness my focus and attention has translated into many areas, as I just mentioned. But one of the things that I believe has been the most monumental is it has increased my patience and it's allowed me to assess a situation and be appropriate according to the circumstances and not to react too quickly or to make decisions too quickly, and to really consider what's actually required and to be responsible, which really is just the ability to respond with integrity and appropriate to the situation and not too much, not too little. So let's review. The 3 daily habits to increase your output are: number 1, the first 30. This is where you do not turn your phone on for the first 30 minutes of the day. Leave it on airplane, do not disturb. And this is where you prioritize what you know needs to happen first, and you get your mind in the right place where you're prioritizing what you need to do and you're not responding to everybody else first. Number 2, this is where you develop the deep work. This could start as simply a 30-minute session 3 times a week where you are focused on the completion of one activity from start to finish with 0 distractions or interruptions or doing anything else other than that single activity. Number 3 is to develop the habit of writing. As I said before, this could start as a 30-day challenge where you write 500 words a day just to develop the habit where you write every single day so that you can learn how to form the thoughts. And you may not necessarily keep that habit past 30 days, but it could form as something that you can use to get better at what it is you're already doing in your business. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell that notifies you each week when a new episode goes live. If you know somebody who could benefit from hearing this message, be sure to share this link with them and share it out on social media as well. Until next time, chat soon.